September qualifiers to action. I'm Metis, and I'm joined by the lovely Enzy, and it's a reunition because we haven't been together for quite a long time, Enzy. It's been a while.
Oh, stop it, Finn. Stop it.
Right? I know.
Stop it, man. But yeah, pretty
I feel
excited.
a little tingly.
Man, that's a bit weird. You getting tingly? Just speaking to me? Come on,
I am
mate.
getting
Come on.
tingly.
Come on,
But we are
PG-13 right here.
Well, I didn't say what was tingly, mate. You just jump into assumptions.
Gig.
Either way, this is the semi-finals now, and as you can see, two really strong teams coming out the gates. It's going to be Team Acer facing off against Replika. We caught the back end of the last Replika game. You weren't there, Enzy, but Replika did win it very comfortably in the end, and Just Nerf Me, who we saw before, was 1400 elo. I'm pretty sure this must be a Smurf, but he went 11-0 or some crazy scoreline like that with Graves at bot lane, so he was really, really strong. So really interested to see this one.
Yeah, pretty crazy stuff, but the bans already came out for Replika as they have banned out Alistair and Rengar. Rengar pretty much an insta-ban now after that buff. Even before that he was pretty strong, but Riot, please, what are you doing with Rengar? Anyway, Alistair banned out as well, that's pretty common. Obviously headbutt, pulverize, and all my fails that go into a shoutcast. You don't want that all in a bunch. Malphite as well, that ultimate is just too strong. That's all I have to say. Sona,
it is.
Yeah, Sona in lane as well. Reason banning out that, I don't see that like a great deal, but you can kind of understand. It's very annoying having a Sona on the other team, like a Sona in Ez, because Sona's just going to keep poking and poking in that lane, and she actually does pretty much a lot of damage, and then just poke them down, gank comes in, and it's a death, and you're dead.
Yeah, and Sona at 6 with the crescendo it's just so much utility, you know, especially if you have a bursty kind of champion. You mentioned Ez before. Ezreal has been picked up, but Ezreal and Sona, once they hit 6, True Shot Barrage and crescendo is basically from full to 0 in, well, half a second. Same with the Graves as well, very, very strong lineup. But either way, we are back over to Team Acer, who are going to choose to pick a couple players here. And interestingly enough, Nunu was also banned, Enzy, and as a jungler yourself, what are your thoughts about Nunu? Do you actually like him?
Bad at him, man. I don't know, Nunu's I find him pretty easy to play. I don't know, I just haven't played him enough, but he's a very strong champion, especially his ultimate. His ultimate brings a lot to the table with that slow and, you know, some damage as well. But it looks like Ace are on the verge of picking Zyra. I am a bit behind as I am watching the stream right now, so I'm not sure if they're going to lock that in. But, you know, Zyra, when she first came out, you could basically say she was broken, and then, you know, a little bit of fixing, and I think it did her well. She's still viable, she's still very strong as well. And yeah, is that a random pick?
Interesting. Is this a placement pick? I'm not too sure. Fizz and Zyra, I can only assume, and I have seen this happening more and more over the last couple of weeks, Zyra could very well be support here. And the reason for that, okay, never mind, it must have been a placement pick, or there must have been something wrong there, because Shabs has just left. Yes, it appears that even though it's been a good few months since we last casted together, Enzy, those tournament client bugs are going to continue to happen regardless.
Oh man, the client of League of Legends, where do I start? What a brilliant piece of hardware, software, whatever you want to call it. They need a whole new remake. A lot of people on Reddit as well are saying, you know, it needs a complete revamp, just redone, recoded, blah blah blah, because the amount of bugs, man, just over 9,000.
Oh, well, it could also be a case that his PC crapped out on him, but either way, they have just informed us that Fizz was indeed a placement pick or whatever, and it was for Jace. So it is going to be Jace. At top lane, you have to assume, I mean, Jace is kind of viable in jungle, I guess, but realistically, 9 times out of 10, he's going to be top lane. And the other pick, of course, was Zyra. So you can kind of scratch what I said. Having said that, though, could still be support Zyra. We're not too sure.
Yeah, I mean, Jace, really, he's always been strong, but he really came into the mix from the EU regionals. So is playing Jace, picking that one up. And
yeah,
from
definitely.
there, it's just been domination station with Jace. He's very strong. He's one of the more complicated top laners as well, because of so many spells to play around with. But as we see the pick coming in straight away, Ezreal's going to get picked up. But Vince, I'm just going to ask you personally, what are your thoughts on Jace?
I honestly think that in the right hands, he is an amazingly strong champion. You mentioned before that prior to Soaz kind of picking him up and showing him off at the regionals and such, he wasn't played a great deal at top in the kind of top competitive scene. It made sense at the time because Soaz is also synonymous with his Nidalee play, and in my opinion, Nidalee and Jace are kind of similar. you know, not just obviously the fact that their ultimate changes up different abilities, but their kind of maneuverability and what they bring to the table. There's a lot of similar traits there. So, as I said before, I think Jace is an incredibly strong champion, and it's just going to be interesting to see how he fits in this team. We do have a Maokai and a Gragas getting taken now for Replika, and on the flip side, it looks like it could be an Ashe, but they still have another 35 seconds to decide. So, right back at you in terms of Jace. What are your thoughts, Enzi?
You know, after saying about, you know, he's getting played a load, I'm not a high elo player, guys, so I don't see him played all that much. But, you know, just watching streams and stuff, he's a very strong champion, and in the right hands, he can be absolutely great, especially in Soaz's hands. I must say, I go a bit moist from watching him play Jace, but let's not get into that. But a possible Ashe pick. Ashe, she's a great champion. Her only downside is that she has no escapes. Yeah. Obviously, she has the slow to kind of, you know, slow them down if they do come at you, bro. But that's about it. On the opposite side, Gragas and Maokai, that's going to be really strong. Maokai ultimate, of course, negating damage from the enemy team. So pretty good against AoE and stuff. Ooh, active game was not found.
I got that as well, yeah.
And Gragas, you know, all around is just incredible in the mid lane. His ultimate brings a load to the table if it's hit right, and his damage is just insane.
It is, and well, if you think back a couple of weeks, and even now, he actually gets banned a lot in solo queue, just for that pure reason that he just brings so much damage and displacement as well. It looks like Replika are going for a displacement team. You got Janna's Monsoon, Gragas' ultimate as well, Explosive Cask, pushing back players. And especially against an Ashe, it makes a lot of sense that you take Janna. Because, as you said, doesn't have a great amount of maneuverability. Yes, she can kite well with the volley and also, of course, the constant slows that she brings to the table, but she can't really get in and out like an Ezreal can. Ezreal's Arcane Shift is so good for repositioning in team fights. Ashe can't really do that. She's relying on the rest of her team to help her out. And that's why I think they've gone for the Jace-Ashe combo, because Jace's acceleration gate is going to allow Ashe a lot more maneuverability. And alongside the CC that Udyr and also Zyra bring to the table, if Ashe is in the right place at the right time, she is just going to cut fools down left, right and centre, and she's going to have a great time doing so.
The only thing I can really see right now, which is probably going in Replika's favour, is that if you look at Acer's lineup, right, you've got the likes of Jace, you've got the likes of Udyr, who are basically champions who like to get straight in your face, right? Replika, they have a lot of disengage. I mean, you've got Maokai with the Q to kind of slow them down, lock them up a little bit. Arcane Shift from Ezreal, Gragas can obviously just dash away. Irelia as well, then you've got Janna with her ultimate, and oh my god, I completely forgot the spell. Oh my god.
Monsoon? Her ultimate?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh, she pushes everyone away, right?
I'm a bit rusty, man. I'm a bit rusty.
It's
I'm
alright,
sorry.
man. You haven't casted in God knows how long.
Sorry, but you know, they've got a lot of disengage. And
yeah.
But along with that, you've got the likes of Maokai who can jump onto a player. You've got Irelia who could jump onto a player as well. If necessary, Ezreal can Arcane Shift in, but that normally isn't the greatest idea.
Yeah.
But it looks like it is going to be Syra's support. I haven't actually seen this a lot. Ziggs in mid as well. I love Ziggs. Ziggs is so fun.
Yeah.
But just isn't played that much.
No, he's not really played that much, because there's a lot of champions who do what he does, but kind of just better. You know, he's quite squishy. He has had a few changes to him over the last patch. His satchel charge, I believe, gives him a further amount of distance away from it when he explodes it, so it's a nice kind of get out of jail for free card that he brings to the table now. But Zyra at bot lane, I think it's a W. I haven't really played Zyra a great deal for a long time, but she does have obviously the snare. She has her Stranglethorns as well as her ultimate, and she brings a lot of just damage alongside her plants as well. Obviously constant slows, and it's going to allow Ashe once again to be able to just stand where she wants, plant her foot down, and do a lot of damage. And remember, when they hit 6, Anzi, you're going to have the Ashe Arrow and the Stranglethorns. That is crazy amounts of damage and CC on top of each other.
Good initiate. Very good initiate.
Yeah, indeed, absolutely. Especially alongside Jace. Jace is going to be able to jump in there as well and cause havoc.
The only thing I don't really understand, like, Udyr is a really good pick, but when you're against a team with someone like a Janna with a Howling Gale to just kind of stop Udyr in his tracks, you've got an Arcane Shift from Ezreal, and, you know, that disengage from Replika, I don't really understand that, but, you know, it might work. I might eat my own words and stuff like I normally do. Obviously, you got Ashe as well, so if Replika are disengaging something, you know, Ashe can just slow them. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Interesting, indeed.
Yeah, but as you said before, a couple of gap closers on Replika. You've got Maokai's Twisted Advance. You have the gap closer from Irelia. Gragas can body slam in as well. So it's really just going to come down to positioning. That keyword that we've used time and time again in the past, Enzi. Which of these two teams are going to utilize their strategy to the best and catch the other one off guard? We are coming up to about 1 minute 30 in the delay remaining, guys. So we're going to cut to a quick commercial break. When we rejoin us, we'll be live for the semi-finals of the All or Nothing September Qualifier 2 matchup between Team Acer and Team Replika. We'll see you shortly. Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome back. We are right into game. Team Acer and Team Replika facing off here in the semi-finals. It's a best-of-1 format. If you have just joined us, I'm Metis, and I'm joined by the lovely Enzi once again, reunited after a long period of time. Are you into the game, Enzi, or are you still having bugs? Because you just mentioned before you had some problems.
I'm having exactly what you had on the summoning screen. Oh, I'm in now. But I think I'm behind. I need to
time check. What's your time? I'll tell you.
0:38 now.
Okay, so you're like a couple seconds ahead of me, so let me now skip to...
And my heart just skips a beat. Sorry. Didn't mean it.
Right, 49.50 now?
It's on 50 for me.
Alrighty, so let's just kick off into the action here. Apologies for that, just making sure everything was all good and sorted. So, thoughts about compositions, thoughts about how this game is going to go, Enzi. Do you have any?
It's just going to come down to lane phase, and you know, with someone like Maokai who can influence the game so hard early game with his ganks, it's going to really go in favor of Replika. But saying that, if Udia can, you know, do the right stuff, then it can go either way. Both team compositions are pretty interesting. There's an invade already coming. Wait, no, there isn't. That's their side of the map. Derp 1, ladies and gents.
We will keep a tally, don't you worry. It's all good. But
Sorry about that,
I hope
guys.
you enjoyed this, guys. We are both really, out of practice in terms of casting. We kind of stepped in last second, so apologies in advance. But we hope you enjoy. We're definitely going to enjoy this ends. I think we're going to have a bit of fun here.
Oh,
But either
yeah.
way, it looks as though Team Acer could be having some fun too, trying to steal this blue buff from Replika. There is a ward down as well, smart ward, knowing in advance when something may be coming round the corner. And they have done enough just to stave off Maokai from that blue for an extra few seconds, and maybe coming back in once again to try and pick up the pieces. In the meantime, you can see that they really have gone for a double kind of fork attack, because Udia, while they're harassing blue, has just gone and stolen himself red. So really nice play from Team Acer. Now Udia is going to be going on towards Gragas, who's going to be forced to move away. And nice start from Acer.
Absolutely, really nice start from Udia as well. And you know, what Acer did really well there was just delay Maokai. That's exactly what you want to do when he's in the jungle, is just delay him as quickly as possible. Zyra was just staying there, just pressuring Maokai to kind of start that blue buff, and then Zyra's like, I'm here, I could do some damage. And now Maokai is going to be really, really behind. The red buff's been stolen as well. Amazing is now going to pick up the blue, so he's already that far ahead at this time, and Maokai is just getting his second camp right now. So really nice stuff coming out from Acer very early on.
Yeah, Maokai didn't pick his blue up until 2 minutes 50. We do have some action at bot lane. Flashing up red will be Jace. And as you can see, we do have inverted lanes. So Zyra and Ashe will be at top, and you're going to have the Janna Ezreal combination at the bot lane. It's just going to be about who can hold on for longer here. Jace is chugging through a few health pots. It looks that Ezreal and Jace are going to be... Ezreal and Jace? Ezreal and Janna even. So there's my derp number one, NZ. We're tied,
Derp one.
Tied for first place.
10 points for Gryffindor.
Indeed. But Jace is being really zoned out here. There is nothing that he can do. And Irelia's going to enjoy this, because Irelia has a lot more sustain than Jace does.
I just think Acer was just playing this all along with the 2v1 lane. I mean, you got Ashe and Zyra. Zyra can literally just zone Irelia out with the snare. Maokai's actually coming out towards top lane. He has just got that blue buff, level 3. Udia is level 3 as well, but with a double buff. So they might just be trying to catch Irelia out of position. Maokai is actually going to back off. And no, you know, they don't want to risk that. I mean, Udia's less than half HP. Doesn't want to risk diving the tower, and you know, he doesn't know where Maokai is at this current time. I think Udia's maybe expecting Maokai to come up, so he's kind of waiting. So he's just going to go into the opposing jungle, and he might be going in here at top lane. If you can land that stun off, then quickly run away. This could be good times, or he's just going to put some pressure on Irelia. I mean, what really matters right at the start is with these meta switch ups, you know, like with the 2v1s, you want to get that tower down as quickly as possible to help the whole of the map. This is kind of a strategy, is like, CS doesn't matter, we need to get this tower down, and then we can push objectives and go around the whole of the map.
The scary thing at this point for Team Acer is you have a look at Jace and Irelia. Irelia is exactly one level above Jace right now. Jace hasn't hit 3, and Irelia is very close to 4. There we go, just ding, Jace still 2. So Replika in that exchange are definitely coming out ahead. Irelia with 12 CS, Jace with 6. So Ezreal is just getting free farm here alongside Ashe, but you have to say that the fact that the minion wave is consistently pushing that tower is just giving Irelia the better of this trade up, going back on once again getting as much CS as she possibly can. And in the meantime, Jace is just standing by his tower trying to do just the same thing. So as I said before, you were right on the button. It's going to be down to how this laning phase peters out.
Yeah, I mean, I like what Ezreal's doing. He's definitely, you know, completely zoning Jace out, and Jace is very underleveled, and Irelia is doing a good job. So, you know, Replika at this point in the laning phase with the 2v1 switch-ups are doing better. Udia did start off much better as well, but Maokai's getting straight into the mix again. So it's kind of shifting towards Replika right now. And, you know, hopefully they can do something with it. Hopefully Maokai will put some pressure on towards this top lane, then allowing Ezreal and Janna to quickly get that bottom turret. But Udia is going to come down, and Jace has to back. He's been completely zoned out, hasn't got a flash either, so he can't go aggressive or try and get some CS, because he's got 80 seconds to wait. Ziggs is going to recall. Maybe he was just going to go towards top, but Maokai is going to go up there and give Irelia a little bit of a hand. And I think what Replika want to do right now is just get this tower down as quickly as possible, but Udia at the bot brush is waiting very patiently for his teammate Jace to come back into the mix. As Amazing has got that red buff as well, so he's going to have that slow, plus a stun. Then Jace, with the movement speed increase, can just quickly chase up to Ezreal when he does Arcane Shift away, if he does. So we're just going to have to see how this one plays out. Idia staying in that bush. Mystic Shot comes out from Ezreal. Looking for some poke. Is Idia going to make a move? I think maybe just be waiting for Janna or something. But yeah, we're just going to have to see how this one pans out.
Well, we've been mentioning about Irelia having a bit of a better time on CS and such. We do have some action at bot lane here, as Udyr and Jace will be chasing on to Janna, and a pause has just came. So, a DC. Okay, Mozilla has said a DC has came off, and Gragas has like an 800 ping. So there you go, that's the reason for the pause. Hopefully we will rejoin the action very shortly. What I was about to say, though, is that even though Irelia is ahead of Jace in terms of level and also CS, literally double his CS, that top tower, Enzy, that for Irelia is very close to falling. And if you have a look at Jace's tower, we can't right now because we're paused, but I had a quick look before, it's higher than 3/4 full. So what you were saying before is, in this kind of inverted switch-up, you just want to get that tower down as soon as possible. So in that case, Acer at the moment are closer to that goal than Replika are, even though Jace is falling behind.
Yeah, the standard tactic for this kind of, 2v1 is get that tower quickly as possible. So what you will see probably is if Ashe and Zyra take down that top tower, they're going to switch lanes with Jace, so it'll go back to a normal 1v1 lane at top, Jace versus Irelia, allowing Jace to catch up a little. And then Ezreal and Janna are going to be stuck in lane, and, their tower is going to stay up because it's going to be a 2v2, and depending on how that goes, that's just going to have to see. Ezreal's currently on 56, Ashe is on 44, so Ezreal is definitely doing a lot more farm-wise, but Ashe and Zyra are focusing on that tower, so this is really going to go down to how the strategy is played, because, if they get that top tower down, they've got so many options. They can keep pushing Irelia, but that's going to put them in a bad spot in case Maokai and Gragas come up. But it looks like Udyr is just going to actually help bot lane. But here comes Maokai, twisted advance in on towards Jace. The Q comes in as well. This is definitely going to be a kill. First blood going on towards Ezreal. Exhaust down as well on towards Udyr. The Zigzag does come in. Isn't going to hit anything, as Udyr is just going to run away like a madman. And now he's going to switch back to Phoenix. Ziggs is going to come down, trying to land his kill on. Flash comes in, but brilliant play from Maokai. Maokai actually has to flash away as well. Howling Gale comes across just to try and stop him. But now they're on the offensive as the big fat man Gragas is coming in. And he is going to die. The bear man has gone down, but Ziggs has traded a kill on towards Janna. But this should be absolutely fine unless Ezreal does go down. Is Ziggs going to be able to do that Arcane Shift away? He's going to try and boost himself away as well. This Ziggs will not fall as Jace is in the mix as well now. So let's see what's going to happen. Twisted advance back on towards Ziggs. Ziggs is going to put their minds down, and now Jace is going to come right back around the corner. And it looks like that's going to be the end of that. But that was so sloppy. Anything could happen. Ezreal nearly died. That's about 4 flashes exchanged as well. So crazy stuff about lane.
It was like throwing a hot dog down a corridor, that was. It was so sloppy. I shouldn't have said that. It's not even like it.
Just wow.
Second up for
that
me.
Laugh as well.
I'm currently winning on the derpometer, to be fair, Enzy, so you can feel a bit better about your standing.
No,
but
man,
yeah.
I sound like an old man trying to, spew my words out. It's like, oh yes, he's going to flash. What?
A little senile, maybe. And also, important to note as well, Enzy, that in amongst all of that action at bot lane, Irelia did manage to pick up a kill at top. So it was just all over the map, all hell breaking loose. Ashe and Zyra are going to rejoin the fray at the top. So we're not going to have that switcheroo just yet. 9 minutes through, and you do have a 1.1k gold lead, courtesy of Replika Gaming. Flashing up here will be Ashe, and it was indeed Ashe that actually died at Irelia's hand. Zyra had to go back, and Irelia pounced and seized the moment. So pretty interesting start, Enzy. Nothing happened for about 8 minutes, and then all hell broke loose globally across the map.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, it was just all calm, all quiet, it's fine, and then boom, it all erupted. But there has been a ward put down. Maokai is expecting an invade of some sort from Udyr. There is a pink ward, not a pink ward, well, the purple size ward in the brush next to blue, so they're going to expect this. Ziggs is going to come around the corner as well. There is a present there, so they are going to gain vision of Udyr. There's a ward there as well. A turret does go down. That is top lane, yes it is, and both of them are going to recall. So So Irelia and Maokai are both going to try and get this blue buff. Maokai still level 5, Udia level 6. Gragas is going to come and try and pick this one up. Can Udia do something? No, he's going to back away, as he doesn't want to put himself to risk, you know, going in with that smite. Didn't want to really risk anything there, but Ziggs comes in with the ulti to save that bot tower. Because of course Ashe and Zyra did just get that top tower down, so they're doing exactly what I expected them to do. Ashe and Zyra are going to be going towards that bot lane, so you're going to have the standard meta of 2v2. Well, what is meta nowadays anyway? 2v2 and a 1v1 itself.
I don't think there really is a meta as such. So you can kind of switch it around. This is becoming more and more standard in League of Legends. Now you also have, you know, the 2v2 and 1v1 at top. So anything can really happen at this point, but we do now see the two lanes, the two quote-unquote bot lanes starting to form, and the two solo top lanes as well. So let's have a quick look. Now that the switches have came round, who's coming out on top? Jace is 3 levels behind Irelia, so I don't really need to say too much about the top lane. Jace 34 and Irelia 64. But how is bot looking? Do we see something similar but reverted? So, Israel has 92 CS, and he is currently taking some punishment from Ashe, who has 81. So you have to say that both lanes are slightly behind, and obviously in terms of the top lane, Jace is a long way behind, but they did get that objective. They did manage to pick up that top tower. So it's quite an interesting situation that we're watching here, Enzi.
Yeah, absolutely. And now you're just going to have that 2v2. It's going to be pretty standard at the bot lane. Just going to come down to gank. Ziggs is going to poke on towards Gragas in that mid lane as well. Udia is still lurking around in his jungle as he has picked up that red buff. And Jace at top is just going to be getting some farm as Ashe at bot lane ignites him down. And she will finally die. Sorry about that. I did miss it. I am accustomed with missing a lot of things on the map. So we're just going to have to see how that plays out later on in the game, but what does go down, so they have vision of Ziggs right now, and he's doing a lot of damage, I must say, to that Maokai. Maokai's actually has an Oracle, so he's opted, even though he was behind early game, to pick up that Oracle and risk himself getting put behind even more. But if you can get that gold back from clearing wards and get some kills from clearing the wards, I mean, they're ahead right now as a team, 4 kills to 1, 15k to 14.4k, it's all good times. Ziggs is going to go back in towards his lane. Jace has actually come as well as they were expecting. Maybe a fight on towards Dragon. This is the time where you kind of thinking, okay, Dragon's there, let's try and get it. So any advantage they get, they're going to try and pounce on it.
But yeah, when was the last time you saw Jace, or any top laner for that matter, with a Doran's shield and Doran's blade? That pretty much tells the tale of what's happening with Jace's game thus far. But we do have the Ashe arrow coming in, the initiation that we were talking about before. Here comes Ziggs' ultimate as well. It will just catch the side of Maokai. Lots of AoE damage, beautiful Monsoon being used from Janna, pushing away Jace, but it's not going to do enough to alleviate that pressure. Ashe will pick up the kill. Ziggs is coming in with one of his own, gets his double kill on towards Maokai. And they do manage to bridge that gap somewhat on the gold, and in fact go ahead by 600. So for all of us talking about how Jace is behind and such, the team itself on total is ahead at this moment in time. And as we said before, Enzi, as soon as that top tower goes down, it frees up Jace and it frees up the rest of his team to be able to roam to bot lane, to be able to pressure mid as well. That's exactly what we just saw.
Yeah, what I don't get though is why Maokai bought an Oracle. I mean, I get it, right? An Oracle's great early game, especially clearing the walls and stuff. But around this time when, you know, Dragon's such a huge factor and yourself are actually behind, you don't want to put yourself behind even more. I mean, he's level 6 to Udia's level 7. You know, that might not be a lot, that's a level behind. But you can just tell in the fights that Udia is ahead somehow. I don't know how I'm really grasping that, but I just do. Have a look at the gold. If Maokai's actually ahead, this coming. No, Udia is ahead by 200 or 300 gold. I was kind of thinking maybe Maokai's ahead, but no, he's not. I don't get it. I mean, he just lost his Oracle, so that's another 400 gold down the drain. So yeah, weird stuff. Like personally, in that situation, I wouldn't have bought an Oracle because, you know, if you're behind, you don't want to get put behind even more.
Yeah, absolutely. I can, as you said, I can kind of understand it. He wants to try and win the ward war, so to speak, and he really wanted to try and eliminate that vision off the map. And speaking of Udia, he is trying to solo Dragon at this point, so he is he's been quite ballsy. He realizes that he's going to be safe for the foreseeable future. Having said that though, here comes Maokai and Gragas, both bot lanes starting to come up, and Ezreal is going to get a free shot there. Needs to be careful. Grasping Roots did almost land. In fact, they may have landed, but I think he arcane shifted away while he was snared. Not too sure, didn't quite catch that. But regardless, the Drake attempt will come to a very quick and brisk end. But either way, you talked before about Udyr. One of the great things about Udyr's team at this point is the Ash Arrow can really initiate. If you have a quick look on Replika's team, they don't really have that kind of initiation unless Irelia goes really, really deep and just goes balls to the wall. Or you have a Maokai jumping in there too. So again, the Ash Arrow, the enchanted Crystal Arrow, is going to come to the saviour of her team and really open up a lot of fights that wouldn't have happened otherwise. And that's exactly what we saw at bot lane before.
The one thing I just love about Acer's composition is that you've got an Ash Arrow to kind of keep one in place, and if someone gets caught out from Replika, you can bet your bottom dollar that most of the time the rest of the team will go and try and back them up, right? That's going to allow Zyra to ultimate, and then you've got Ziggs. Boom! And yeah, that sounded really bad. But yeah, there's an ult right in your face, and that's just a load of your health gone. Udyr's actually picked up the oracles now, so he's going to be clearing this ward nice and easy. If he can get past the dragon. Gotta love minion block nowadays, right?
Yeah, well, you can kind of understand why he'd be blocked by dragon. That is one big-ass minion. But yeah, as you say, he does have the oracles. He's had it for a little while, so he has been like pacing backwards and forwards. He realizes, okay, there are no wards now towards Drake. If I want to go ahead and try and gank bot lane, if they start to push or get a tiny bit too confident, then I'll do just that. Or, as we're going to see again, he seems to be in love with that Drake. It's the second time he's tried to attempt it on his own and solo it for a little while. And needs to be very careful because obviously the bot lane of Ezreal and Janna can close the gap very, very quickly. But either way, let's have a quick look at some of that CS in the meantime, while waiting for something else to kick off. In fact, we do have some action here. Ziggs is going to be picking up the kill. Will he go down? A minion has just attacked him, and he will go down to 50 HP.
Great reactions.
Indeed, I just switched over to see that happen. Incredible play. Here comes the Ezreal ultimate, though. It's not going to land. Could understand what he was trying to do. Trying to catch Ziggs off guard by recalling behind his tower, but very smart play from Citizen. He's like, I know Ezreal's got his ultimate off cooldown. I know he's going to go for that cheeky steal, and therefore I'm just going to recall in a completely random place and save my own life. So great play from Team Acer and Citizen.
Yeah, I mean, I think Riot recently made this actual charge, so when you jump on it yourself, you go further. And I think if that, didn't come into effect there, and you had the normal range, he probably would have died from a minion. So nice use of mechanics there, really quick on the button, the trigger. I don't know, you can explain it anyway. But Idiot is going to get this red buff. Maokai is going to come towards the mid lane, looking for a gank on towards Ziggs, level 13 to 8. I'm not sure about this, because Ziggs...
Oh my god.
Well, that's why... yeah, that's about it.
Oh!
What?
But he may actually survive this, oh my god! I didn't get the kill to Gragas. Good guy,
Holy balls!
I mean, Maokai got melted in a heartbeat, but then Gragas came back as well. I think he threw
again, man.
of Cask. Yeah, Satchel charge just coming to the good for Citizen. Ultimate comes out from Ezreal and it's going to pick up the kill.
Sit down!
True shot barrage. In the same place that Citizen had recalled just a couple of moments previously when he was on a Slither of Health, and this time around Ezreal did factored in the wind change and just fired it down and did get that kill. Nice play. I was about to say that Citizen is on a 4-for-0 killing spree, but now he's dead. Rabadon's death cap, though, that is scary damage coming out.
Man,
and again, they're going for the Drake.
He bursted Maokai, who is a quote-unquote tank. With the little Dr. Evil fingers there.
You use that term loosely in that circumstance.
Yeah. And half of his health is gone from one combo, and he didn't even use the ult. So yeah, at the moment, Ziggs, he's pretty good. He's doing a bit of damage, but someone is very low. It's Janna, at bot lane. She dies. Again, I miss it because I'm talking too much. I apologise once again. But it looks like Ashe could actually get this tower down. Maokai and Irelia are on their way, though, so they have to be careful. They're running out of minions as well. It's going to be interesting to see if Ezreal goes for an engage of some sort. No, he doesn't want to go 1v2 for too long. As Gragas is going to come back in towards the mid lane. Ziggs is going to try and farm up, push that lane as well. Udyr is in the bush, just trying to scout for wards. As bot lane, Ashe is pushing once again. Irelia is going back towards the mid. And Maokai has picked up yet another Oracle. Again, I'm not sure about this. I mean, the opposing support is a higher level than you. That isn't good. Udyr is 4.6k gold, Maokai is 3.8k gold. And top lane. Three-man push.
They are pushing top lane very, very aggressively. Here comes a true shot barrage from Ezreal just to clear out the minions more than anything else you have to feel. It did land. Here comes Aurelia jumping on with a blade surge, but needed to be very careful. Her tower had just gone down. Here comes the cavalry though. Oh my god, Gragas is disintegrating before eyes. There's a Mega Inferno.
He ran back in!
Explode, and he just gets completely nuked. Now Citizen's going to try his best to escape. He is going to go down. Satchel charge, third time unlucky in this case, and that will actually be a recalling Udyr in the mix. So lots of action again, and how quickly did Gragas die there?
What was Gragas doing? He had the chance to actually walk out of that ult range. Not sure if he just had slow reactions there, but he actually walked back into the ult range. And if he didn't, he would have survived. But the bot tower's got to go down as well, so it's going to be a better trade for Acer. 30k gold to 27k right now. And good stuff for Acer. They're actually going to stay in this push. And they're going to try and snare. The arrow does hit. Is the arcane shift up? Yes, it is. And what a clutch arcane shift that was. Zyral, and she probably would have been dead.
That's exactly the reason why myself included as an AD carry rate Ezreal as one of the best, you know, AD carries out there, because with flash he basically has a double flash. He can flash away then an arcane shift. He can really get out of dodge very, very quickly, and had it not been for one or the other, if his flash or arcane shift were off cooldown, Stranglethorns would have caught him and he would definitely have died. So it just goes to show that Ezreal is a very, very strong champion in the right hands. Currently 204 CS on Ezreal to Ash's 168. Needs to be careful though, because you can see the man Bear Pig in the bush. Does come out there, does land the stun onto Janna. Are they going to follow this one up? The slow has been put down from Ezreal onto Ash, so she's way out of position, couldn't have closed that gap, and therefore Udyr is like, oh, I feel so alone, I'm just going to walk away and let Ziggs try and steal some of that jungle.
Yes, Irelia is actually going to come straight around the corner. Ziggs is going to try and get this red buff, but Irelia is there. And she has set her targets along with Ezreal. Is he going to get away?
No.
Yes, he will! Ziggs goes clutch once more.
Ultimate.
And he's going to satchel charge away. Ezreal does miss as well. How much HP was that? I don't even know.
15 he had.
But I'm going to jump out the window because that was lucky as hell. And how many times does Ziggs escape? But Man Bear Pig could be in a little bit of bother, as Gragas and Aurelia did come around the corner. But this Ziggs, man, goes clutch about 100 times in one game, has literally escaped probably about 5 times on no HP.
Definitely.
My god.
Another day he could be on like a 5-for-7 scoreline.
Exactly.
Literally. He has escaped by the skin of his teeth multiple times. And, well, the important thing is that's in the past, you know. Replika probably feel a bit hard done by, maybe a bit, you know, ass-clinchingly frustrated, but they just have to get on with the job at hand. And thus far, they are falling behind more and more on gold as it starts to rack up. They are going to be going for the 4th tower now, will Acer. And that's going to be without any retort whatsoever from Replika. They have not taken down a tower thus far, so you have to say the inverted lane switch has definitely paid out dividends for Acer. Jace has managed to claw his way back, has closed that gap that he was so badly behind earlier, and in fact he's now the same level as Irelia and has 166 CS. So he's really made a nice comeback in this matchup.
Absolutely agree with you there, and now Acer are going to be on the offensive, and that Ziggs poke is just so good, especially with that blue buff as well, can do it all day long. And Irelia's going to pop her armor as well, trying to clear the minions as quickly as possible, put some damage out. But Citizen, he can just keep doing this all day. Acer can just stand there. They've got the likes of Zyra as well. Jace with that gate as well. So, you know, the poke coming out from Acer can keep doing this, can constantly poke out their HP and then go in at the right time. But they are going to retreat back. Dragon might be due up very shortly. Didn't get the timer last time. As it looks like it is going to run back as well. Maokai is going to run. They are actually split. Jace is at top lane. So if Replika can try and catch someone off guard, this could be very, very good times. But I think they're going to try and focus this tower down. Jace might want to move towards the mid lane. But Janet is actually going to go back. And pretty surprising though. I think if they just push this wave, they might have been able to get that. But, you know, with a Ziggs that fed and doing that much damage, you have to be very, very cautious.
Yeah, you definitely do, especially when Ashe has her ultimate off cooldown, and you know that as well. If you're away from your tower in a precarious position, you know if Ashe lands the arrow, you're done. It's that simple. And you're now seeing some pings going down. Of course, Udyr has had the Oracle for a very, very long period of time now, so he knows that it's by and large completely bare of wards. and therefore they are just going to start to pull themselves back. You're going to have a recall coming in from Ash. Let's have a look at the items. Going to be Bloodthirster and Phantom Dancer for her, Bloodthirster, and some of the components for Triforce on Ezreal. And now Drake has respawned, so we could be seeing a sneaky Drake taken from Replika while Ash is running back. Having said it though, this would be quite scary, because here comes Acer. Are they going to try and steal this Drake? Are they going to try and pick up a kill? They're chasing on towards Irelia. Drake has gone down. Do they pull back or do they fully commit? Looks like it's going to be a commit from Udyr. Here comes the True Shot Barrage, just catching the side of Zyra, doing lots and lots of damage alongside the Explosive Cask. And you can see that Team Acer feel that, you know, they felt that punch there. They're starting to pull themselves back and they don't want to contest any team fights right now.
No, they do not. So it looks like Zyra is going to go back. As you said, you know, that True Shot Barrage just hitting the side of Zyra, you know, draining her HP a little bit. But this mid lane is going to push. And Jace and Ziggs are going to lead the charge. And they are going to go back as well. They're going to buy up. What has Ziggs actually got right now? How much gold? He's got 2.2k. He's currently sitting on a couple of Doran's rings, a Rabadon's Death Cap, and a Blasting Wand with a ward. And the Sorcerer's Shoes, of course. He is actually just going to farm up a little bit more. Jace has gone back. And, you know, Acer might just be preparing for a push of some kind, or, you know, a Baron. I mean, it's 26 minutes is the kind of time. If you can catch one off guard at least with, like, a ward and then, you know, pounce on them, there's a free Baron for you. And Ezra was actually bot lane, so they could start this off and possibly do something, but Ziggs is just coming back. Yeah,
exactly. And as we were saying before, this kind of tense period of the match is where Ash really steps into a league of her own, because there is no other AD carry, unless you kind of factor in an Urgot, for example, with a flash ultimate that can properly engage a team fight and just pick apart one player. So this is where Ash really becomes a threat, a real terror for the opposition. They're going to have to be very, very careful. Look at the ward coverage here from Acer. There are wards absolutely everywhere around this blue buff. And with the oracles, they're able to take out all the opposition wards as well. So they really are just stamping down their map dominance and presence here. Every single time they kind of take a rotation, a lap around Baron, they're just clearing wards and they're stamping their own wards down. Having said it though, it's important to note that Maokai has an oracles of his own, and he's trying to do just the same thing.
Absolutely, the Baron dance is coming out right now, as Replika are right in front of the Baron actually. And Acer are just the entrance to the Wraith, shall I say, the entrance to their jungle. Udyr looks like he wants to jump on something, maybe just waiting for the right opportunity for an Ash arrow to come in. This is why Irelia is at the front. You don't want Ezreal leading, you know, right at the front in case an Ash arrow does come in. And you don't want to get caught out there by that, especially coming from Ezreal, one of the main sources of damage. You don't want to get caught out and focus down quickly. There is the vision from Ash, maybe trying to set something up, but Irelia is going to come straight in. No, she's actually going to back out, some poke coming out as the gate comes out as well from Jace. And it looks like they're going to go back in towards mid lane as them mines do come down. Maokai has actually got caught out of position. There's the arrow on towards Maokai. They are going to engage on this, and they should be able to get this kill, no worries. There's another stun, Maokai getting caught, and here comes Irelia. They have to try and do something, but this could be the wrong move, as it looks like the mines do come out from Ziggs, slowing Irelia down. Satchel charge back. Brilliant positioning from Ziggs once again. And there we go. That's the end of that exchange. And now Maokai is down. This is a free opportunity towards Baron. Not only is one player down from the enemy team, there's a smite as well. So automatically Acer have got that opportunity. They could also bait this out, trap them, go for an engage. This is exactly what they're going to do. Janet very low, as Ziggs is actually going to go on towards Janet and focus her. There is the ultimate from Gragas trying to disengage. Zarya is going to come around the corner. Can she land a snare? Gragas just getting out of the way. And some more poke coming out from Ziggs. But a great opportunity to maybe pick up one or two more kills, but Maokai is back up. So this would not be a good time to stay around in mid with that sort of HP, because Maokai is back on his way with his team.
Yeah, but you have to give Replika kudos there, because they did a great job of just stopping that Baron from going down. And as you said, completely correctly, Maokai was dead for about 25-20 seconds, and not just Maokai, but the smite was gone. That huge killing tool on Baron was no longer at the table for Replika, but they were able to just kind of harass Acer enough and dangle that carrot in front of them to pull them away from Baron and allow Maokai to respawn again. So we will be having another Baron dance, I'm sure, very, very shortly. But as it stands right now, 3.5k gold advantage to Team Acer doesn't mean a great deal after 30 minutes in this situation. One slip-up, one mistake can be everything in this game. It could be a Baron, as we said before. Udia is once again going to clear some wards around Baron, and Ezreal is trying his best to pick himself up some extra farm. He currently has 1,000 gold at his disposal and has finished himself off that Triforce. Let's have a quick look at the opposition. Riley's Crystal Scepter has been added to the arsenal of Ziggs, and we do have 2 Reveries down in the form of Zyra and Udia, and finally Jace has himself a BF sword. He is actually going to get dove on there from Irelia. Lots of damage being put down. True Shot Barrage as well. He'll be flashing up red, but he'll be just fine recalling that, knowing that True Shot Barrage is no longer able to be used here from Replika for the next few minutes. We do have an engage there from Gragas. It does manage to land a nice ultimate on. Here's the retaliation ultimate from Ashe, and Citizen has been completely caught out of position. Can they retort back onto this one again? Ashe picks up the first. In the meantime, Udia with the Oracles is trying his best to escape in bear form. Can Irelia pick up the pace and meet him? The answer is a no, just pulls back, as does Ezreal, so they won't be taking down the Oracles off Udia. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, that was a 2-for-1 exchange in favour of Replika. So nice play from them, actually managing to get some picks, Enzi.
Yeah, Zyra got caught out of position then. Literally, the great strength of Irelia, you can just dive on towards them carries. That's exactly what she did. She dove straight on towards Ziggs. Ziggs got stunned, and then he got bursted down immediately. That's exactly what they need to do. They're going to get their first tower of the game. Dragon is up as well, so they are going to try and shift this game towards them. And I think the main reason, if Replika do manage to win this, is because of Irelia, because her ability, if she can get to them carries and just stun them, and just if the team follows up and bursts them down, Irelia, that's where she comes into a league of her own as well. But on the opposite side, like you said, if Ashe can start rolling as well, it's going to be bad times for the other team. So it's really going to be an all-out situation here for either team.
Yeah, I mean, we call this in Champion Select. It's all down to how that positioning is going to come out, and if that, you know, perfect engage is going to come to fruition from Ashe, or perhaps it's going to be a really exquisite Ziggs ultimate that just breaks the deadlock here. But again, you know, kills have been going backwards and forwards, toing and froing, but still Baron stands tall. Still, we have a very close matchup on gold, on kills as well. You have to say, you know, the advantage at this point is definitely in Team Ace's court, because they do have 4-to-1 turrets, so map kind of dominance is definitely favouring them. But as we said previously, Enzi, it's really anybody's game. You do have the Guardian's Angel coming up from Ashe here, and you can see the components being built up from Ezreal. He's not going to have it for a little while. 1,400 gold, so he is going to be able to buy that one, but not just yet. Maybe going to recall in a few moments' time. And in the meantime, you just have Acer pushing down that mid lane. Will they go for this Baron, though? That's the question, Enzi, because both teams have hinted at it, both teams have kind of moved towards it, but neither of them have fully committed as of yet.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just got to be that slip-up. I mean, Maokai did get caught initially, like, at the first. That allowed Acer to maybe go for it, but they decided to try and re-engage and get a kill of some kind. But that didn't pay off. So now it's just going to be Baron dance again in that mid lane. Both top and bottom lane are pretty even right now, except the top lane for the purple side is pushing... No, the opposite side. So the lane at top going in favour of Replika, bot lane the opposite. But we could see an engage here as the arrow actually comes out on towards Irelia this time, completely neutralising. There's the Zigzag dealing tons of damage, and now Jace is going to come in as well. And Irelia did a great job of getting towards the carries, but she's going to fall. GA has been popped. Is she going to be able to get finished off? That's the question. Gragas will actually land a kill, and there is the passive from Zyra coming into effect. There's one kill for Ziggs, and this should be a second as well. But no, a beautiful flash over the top of Jace on an arcane shift. Didn't really catch that. He actually missed his Q on towards Udia, and he's very, very low. And now Jace is going to try and chase him down. Irelia is there as well. Ziggs is quite scared of going in, but no, that's going to be a back off, and now it's going to be a 1-for-2 exchange with both Irelia and Ezreal on slivers of health.
I have to say though, Enzi, that team fight was strange, because, you know, Irelia went balls to the walls, aggression. Ashe fired the arrow right between her eyes. And then Ezreal pulled off, in my opinion, a really quite a poor ultimate. He fired it right down the middle, but it only caught Udyr. Because you feel that he'd done the ultimate kind of a second or two prematurely. So it only caught Udyr, didn't manage to actually hit, you know, Ashe or a Ziggs or even Zyra. Just Udyr, who's the tankiest member of their team at this point. So kind of a wasted ultimate. But again, after it's all said and done, 1-for-2 exchange doesn't really change a great deal about this matchup, apart from the fact that another tower was taken, courtesy of Team Acer. They went ahead and pushed that second tier tower in the middle.
Absolutely, we're still in the thick of the action right now, you know, both teams are up. The game isn't over yet, as you can obviously see, because we're still casting and there's still players on the map. So GG NZ for pointing out the obvious.
I think that's 2-2 now, isn't it?
Yeah, 2-2. Derp mode engaged once again. Ziggs is actually going to go back. And, you know, ward coverage is going to be a major factor, of course, as it always is with them oracles coming into effect. Both teams need an oracle right now. At least one on either team. You obviously don't want two. Good job again, NZ. But they are actually maybe going to dive on towards Zyra. No. The armor just going to come out for some poke from Irelia. Jace is towards top lane trying to farm up. Ziggs is going to get that blue buff as well. And while all that's happening, Replika are just pushing this mid lane. They know that blue is up, so they are going to try and push their advantage by getting this tower down, but the minions aren't in their favour. And now Ziggs and Jace will join the cavalry. Zyra has gone back as she wasn't on a lot of HP, but now it's just poke fest at this tower.
It is definitely a poke fest, but one thing in the back of Ace's mind is if Ashe can land a good arrow, it's a long, long way back to home for Replika. It's gonna take a good 15-20 seconds for them to get back to that inhib tower of theirs if a chase ensues. So it's definitely going to be on that thoughts of Team Acer and Lumi as well. It's just that positioning from Irelia is so good. She knows that that Ashe arrow could be coming in any second, and therefore is taking point all the time. Wants to soak up as much damage as possible. Does have a Guardian's Angel, though. It's off cooldown. Here we go. We could have an engage. Lots of poke once again. We're not going to have the engage just yet, as the CS is ripe for the taking, courtesy of Team Acer. And they have managed to clear that wave finally. More wards going down, has to be said, in favour at this point of Replika, but here comes the Oracles wearing Udyr once again, and he is going to make short work of them and be picking up the gold all the meantime. Do you have another tower falling at bot, finally, after 37 minutes, and we do actually have some action going on to Baron here from Acer. Irelia is quite slow to react at this point, but they are going to peel off. Here comes the acceleration gate. Nice work from Replika, just doing enough once again, Andy, to force that Baron fight away. They seem to be very good at that. Of course, when you have a Gragas, for example, he can do a lot of kind of poke damage with his barrels, so it's always one to watch out for.
Yeah, that disengage coming in. I mean, Ezreal can just poke his head around the corner, land a couple of shots, and then just quickly arcane shift out of it so he doesn't get caught out. So, nice stuff. Ziggs is going to get this blue buff, but no, it looks like Replika are circulating around this Baron buff, so it forces Ziggs to come off that blue buff. You know, as soon as you see 5 players from the enemy team going around Baron, you know to stop what you're doing and just get your ass over there. That's the instant reaction that you're going to get. And that's what Ziggs was planning to do, but now he has the chance to get this blue buff. He's gonna, and he can poke all day long, and that's what's going to come into effect. And then they're going to try and follow it up. I thought maybe at the tower when Replika were actually pushing, where they got a lot of poke damage down on towards Irelia. If the Ashe arrow did come out on towards Irelia, I think the GA was down as well. That could have been good times. That could have been a kill. But I mean, it's 38 minutes now, near on 39 minutes. Every team fight that happens right now, there could be one team fight and then the game could end. It's all going to come down to at least 1 or 2 more team fights in this game. Maybe 3, depending on how low the players are after that team fight.
Yeah, just mentioning before about, you know, Irelia and her Guardian's Angel was down and such. I think one of the reasons why they didn't elect to engage them, like, fully, is because Ashe had very little mana, and a couple other players did too. Plus, they knew that the Monsoon and the Explosive Cask from Janet and Gragas, respectively, were still up. So even if they did engage, if it's a claustrophobic, close-knit fight, it actually works out well for Replika, because they can Explosive Cask, Monsoon away, displace, and then focus down players left, right, and centre. So Ashe probably made the right decision, I have to say, there, by not going balls deep. But having said that, once again, look who's pushing, it's Replika. So it's really interesting, Enzi, because this is, like, obviously we haven't casted for a long period of time, but this is an incredibly intense game we're watching.
Yeah, absolutely. You can just see the intenseness. That's a word, right?
Intensity.
That's it.
Sorry,
That's
it's
what I
3-2,
wanted.
dude. You're ahead of me.
3-2
You've gone
to
into
you.
pole position.
Alright, I'm pole position here. I could be winning myself a championship with a big derp sign on. But it looks like Acer, I gotta try and push this lane back. Replika actually taking charge though in this one. Janet is gonna go try and clear out wards, but there are no wards to be got. So she's gonna go and rejoin their team. And as you can see, Acer are just staying around here, just waiting for the lane to push and getting that CS the best they can, poking out. And like you said, it's just so intense right now. It's just poke, 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 back, buff, poke, poke, poke. Maybe I'll go for a Baron, poke, 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 blah, 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 you know?
It is. Oh, we do have an Ash Arrow. Beautiful timing as well. It does manage to land on the Gragas. Gragas goes down in a heartbeat, and this could be the moment that everything is built up towards. It's going to be very quick action regardless. We do have a satchel coming out from Ziggs. A quick sapling thrown in for good measure. Mozilla has gone down. The Guardian's Angel has been popped here, so they're going to be able to focus onto other players. Ziggs is going to go onto Irelia, and now Janna looks like she's about to get completely crushed from Jace. And that is a 3-for-1 exchange. That is exactly what we've been bigging up for the last 20 or so minutes, Enzi, where we've been in this really kind of intense situation that if Ash can land that perfect arrow, it's practically going to be an easy peasy team fight courtesy of Acer. They landed it onto Gragas before he could even brush himself down and get rid of the shock that just happened. He was dead. And from there on in, it's an easy inhib, and they're probably going to be able to pull back and even get Baron here.
I wanted something a bit more, you know. We waited all that time. I wanted like a triple somersault backflip, you know, like 360, 720. But you know, that was a beautiful team fight from Acer. Really big props to Ash and that Zyra ultim as well. Not sure if you caught that, but that completely zoned out Ezreal from the first bit of the fight, because Ezreal actually got caught just on the side of it, and he was forced to, you know, stop. Can we see an Ezreal steal here?
I'd love to.
He's not even going to go to it.
Oh man. Maybe that was going to be the triple backflip somersault thing that you were looking for. A ninja two-shot barrage. It would have made me, as you said so bluntly before, moist.
Yeah, buddy.
It would have been one of those times. But yeah, lots of items being built up here. Some full item builds coming out of the gates. You have how many GAs? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 GAs on the battlefield. And you have 3 Bloodthirsters, 2 Rabadon's Death Caps, lots and lots of items, lots of gold has been used around the map. But even though that fight did kick off, it's going to take a little bit more. Here's Irelia, she needs to be careful, she doesn't have the GA. Ash Arrow does go out, Irelia instantly jumping onto Ash. That's going to be 2 without any retaliation whatsoever. Lots of players on low HP, but they have Guardian's Angels behind them. So another cataclysmic team fight coming out the gate for Replika, and this could actually be the GG. That's 3 players down with 50 seconds remaining on their respawn timers. Can we see a grasp and roots land onto Ezreal? Answer is a no, but here comes the bear form Udyr chasing him down, breathing down his neck. But will he be able to actually pick up this kill? Guardian's Angel is still on Ezreal, and even if he can manage to escape from this situation, the chances are he can't stave off this onslaught on his Nexus towers.
Sorry for that laugh. It's just Ziggs for a satchel tried to try and catch Ezreal, and then he just like, he was chasing Ezreal, then tried to like go after him, and then just like blew himself back. But wow, bursted down in a second.
That is the surrender vote coming in.
Oh, Ezreal GA. Oh.
Yeah, he had a GA, but there's just nothing he could do against 4 players with Baron. It just kind of... That slow, steady approach, I feel, really does factor into Ash's strengths, Enzi, because you always know that arrow is just around the corner. You always know, even if it is used, it only has like a minute and a half at most cooldown. So it's one of those situations where when you let the game get really far on, especially when you have a lot of AoE burst damage coming in the form of Ziggs and Zyra and Jace as well, and his kind of displacement within himself, he can just jump on you and smash you away with his massive hammer. I really feel that Ash is kind of the game winner at that point. Yeah, his massive hammer. Giggity.
Oh, I'm so immature.
Yes, you are.
Sorry, it's
okay.
Funny how blunt you put it. You're like, with his massive hammer.
Yeah, dude. I don't even know what you'd call it, because it's like a hammer that shoots. It's crazy.
True, man.
You weren't immature that time, though. A hammer that shoots. Never mind. Let's just move on. So, Hexit, I need to ask you the question, because obviously we have viewers that will be wondering this.
Bass
Are there any more games tonight? Because I don't know.
I have a message from Bass, the boss, that he got a message that there's only 2 rounds to play in this qualifier to cast.
There's one more round coming up, the finals. I don't know who's going to be casting that because Pulse is back now, so I'm pretty sure he's probably going to want to step in here and take over. So this could be all from yours truly, Metis, and Enzi as well.
I'm going to make Snow Angels.
Snow
I'm going to
Angels.
go make Snow Angels. I'm going to prepare myself for World of Warcraft Mr. Pandaria, while I just boast to Vince because he can't get it.
I have no money. Gutted.
If anyone wants to donate to the Messi prize
don't do
purse...
it. Don't do it. No, don't do it. Don't
joking.
even go there. So we are going to just head off, guys. It could be myself or Enzi next. I have no idea. It could be Pulse, but we've really enjoyed casting for you, and see you shortly. Hello ladies and gents, how is it going? I did inform you before that we may have another game coming up tonight. I have been informed